Phrasal verbs are very important in English, and they help to make you sound a lot more natural when you're speaking, particularly when you're speaking in English. A lot of students find them quite confusing and a bit frustrating, but in this video we're going to look at the 4 different types of phrasal verbs that we have in English, and that should help you to understand how we use phrasal verbs. The first thing to notice about phrasal verbs is that a phrasal verb has a main verb and it has 1 or 2 particles. Now the particle might be a preposition or it might also be an adverb. You don't need to worry too much about whether the particle is an adverb or a preposition, but we'll look at that together. So I'll give you an example for each of the 4 types of phrasal verbs to show you the difference. Type 1, this is intransitive. That means that this type of phrasal verb doesn't need an object. There's no object. So for example, you can say to someone, hurry up. So hurry up just means go faster, do something faster. Hurry is the main verb. Up is the particle. In this case it's an adverb, but there's no objects. Another good example is, I don't have enough money to get by. Again, get by is the phrasal verb, but there's no object after the phrasal verb. Type 2, this is separable. This means that you can separate the main verb from the particle. Again, the particle here is an adverb. So let's look at an example together. Turn off. You could say, turn off the TV or turn the TV off. So in this case, the object is the TV. And as you can see in this example, you can put the object between the verb and the particle or at the end, after the particle. However, if the object is a pronoun, for example, it, then the object must go in the middle of the phrasal verb, between the verb and the particle. So you can say, turn it off, but you can't say, turn off it. Type 3 phrasal verbs, these are non-separable. So this means that the object must go at the end of the phrasal verb. Now the phrasal verb might have 1 or 2 particles, but in any case the object must go at the end. Here's an example. I need to deal with this problem, or I need to deal with it. So deal with is the phrasal verb and this problem or it is the object, and that must go at the end. Here's another example. It's hard to keep up with my homework. Keep up or keep up with is the phrasal verb. In this case, if you need to know, up is an adverb and with is a preposition. But that's not so important. What is important is that the object, my homework or it, must go at the end. It must go at the end of the phrasal verb. Finally, type 4 phrasal verbs. These are probably the least common phrasal verbs, but they're distinctive because they have 2 objects. Here's an example. I will keep you to your promise. So in this example here, there are 2 objects, and the first object is you, and the second object is your promise. I will keep you to your promise. What this means is, I will make sure you don't break your promise to me. Okay, so those are the 4 types of phrasal verbs in English. So we'll do some practice now to see how much you've remembered. I'm going to give you some example sentences using phrasal verbs, and I want you to decide which type of phrasal verb is used in each example. Is it type 1, type 2, type 3, or type 4? I don't feel well. I think I'm going to throw up. When I was in France, I couldn't get my message across to the locals. Mum told us off because we had been fighting. The driver told us to get off the bus. My girlfriend asked me to pick her up. I can't put up with your lies anymore. I wish you would shut up. I'm going to let you in on a secret. So I know phrasal verbs might seem a bit confusing, but really the more contact you have with phrasal verbs, the easier they get. Always learn phrasal verbs in context, and that will help you to understand them more. But by understanding the structure, the 4 different types of phrasal verbs in English, this will also help you to understand them and to use them correctly as well. If you're not so sure, then go back, watch the video again. It's always easier the second time. Remember to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And go to anglopod.com and take a course to help you improve every aspect of your English. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video lesson.